Thank you, Toastmaster Camille, fellow Toastmasters. I am super excited to be here to talk to you today about Pathways, the education curriculum of Toastmasters, which really is a dynamic and personalized approach designed to help you meet your own individual goals and needs of our members. So whether you're looking to enhance your public speaking or build leadership capabilities or advance in your career, like Camille had shared today and what she's been able to achieve, Pathways offers a structured yet flexible journey that can help you achieve whatever your objectives are. In this presentation, I'm going to walk you through what Pathways is all about, how it works, and most importantly, how it can empower each of us to become better communicators and leaders by making progress in Pathways. So what is Pathways and why do we care? Well, it's a modernized, competency-based education program designed to help members develop communication and leadership skills with, as I said, a personalized, flexible learning experience. So I'm just going to share my screen here and just show you a really helpful document that I find gives a really great overview. I just want to make sure that you can see this here. Where is it? Am I not on? I'm not on the right thing. Sorry. I'm not sharing the right screen. There it is. All right. Perfect. So can everyone see the breakdown of the 11 paths? Give me a thumbs up. Thank you. So the whole Pathways curriculum is broken down into 11 learning paths, which you can see the distinction between them all here, with lots of variety to choose from effective coaching to leadership to presentation mastery, even humor if that's something that you want to work on. And I'd love to know, before I dig in any further, which path are you working on right now? So just type in the chat. I know our newer members, you may or may not have selected your path yet. Maybe you have multiple paths going on. When I come back to the chat, I want to see a list of all the paths that we have happening in our club right now. So just type that in the chat for me, which path you're working on. So lots to choose from with respect to the path. Now, the paths encompass all of these 5 core competencies. So public speaking, obviously, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, and management, and confidence. Each path is broken down into 5 levels, where with projects that increase in complexity. So level 1 is mastering fundamentals. It's where you have the icebreaker. You learn how to write a speech with purpose. You're learning and implementing feedback. And research and presenting, I think, is the other one. All of level 1 is the same for all of the paths because they're fundamentals that everybody needs to learn. Level 2 is where you learn a little bit of your style. So I like to think of this one as a lot more self-reflection or self-awareness. So communication, leadership, and mentoring styles. Again, common themes with all the paths, but it's really a focus on awareness of learning about those styles and looking at examples in your life where either you've seen it or where you've exhibited some of those capabilities. Level 3 is increasing your knowledge. So this is where you have one main project that's directly related to your path and 2 electives with flexibility. So there's a list of electives and you actually have the freedom to choose which one seems most interesting for you. So you choose 2 electives, you put some practices into play. So I want you to think about this. Maybe your work requires you to do presentations. Maybe the project of developing visual aids could be a good way to practice that. Or maybe you want to learn how to tell better stories or to introduce yourself, techniques to inspire and connect with your audience. There's so much to choose from. Level 4 is about building skills. So choosing a project and going a bit deeper. And this one usually requires some planning in advance. It's not something you just read and do a speech and you're done. There's usually some work and some tasks that you're completing before. And what you'll deliver for the club is a speech, reflection on what you've learned going through that process. And then 5 is where you bring it all together and you demonstrate that expertise, where you put all the core competencies into practice. So to summarize, we have 11 paths. All the paths are broken down into different projects. Actually, maybe I'll just go a little bit deeper and show you an example of a path while I'm summarizing this. Hopefully you can see as I change my screen. So I'm just going to go to the first path that's here. So I should have this one up while I was giving the breakdown of the levels. But anyways, so you can see what I just shared with you, right? Fundamentals, learning your style, knowledge, skills, expertise. And so a whole level actually encompasses quite a lot, about 14 projects. It all starts with your icebreaker. Again, we're kind of doing the basics together. And then as you progress in your path, you're going a little bit deeper. You're able to choose some of those electives that really catch your eye or that you want to put into practice, and then bringing it all together with your level 4 and 5, cumulative projects where you're pulling all of your knowledge and reflecting on your journey. How does that sound? Not too scary, right? Are you guys excited? Because I'm excited about pathways. All right, so that's just an example. This document is actually really great to get in a glance what is all involved with each path and all of the levels that you can choose from to kind of create a roadmap for yourself. If you've chosen a path already, it's just a matter of logging in and seeing where you're at and choosing the next one. If you're just getting started, the icebreaker is where everybody starts, and it doesn't require a lot of preparation. So we'll make sure that we get you on the agenda soon enough. So I'm going to stop sharing that one. So that's, and I'll actually send an email out with any of the tools that I'm showing here. I guess there's just that one tool. It is, I think it's a really great resource to be able to look ahead, and especially when you're choosing a path, but also even for our existing members, have multiple paths going on, just to look ahead at what you might be interested in pursuing with respect to what your objectives are. So now I want to talk about how we can actually navigate pathways. We have a couple newer members here. I think this will actually be a really great reminder for everybody, even for our existing members. I'm not going to ask this question publicly, but I'm curious to know, when was the last time you logged into pathways? Maybe we can change that and have that a little bit more current today. So I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm just going to give a quick overview, because I know there's lots of video tutorials and things like that and resources to do this. Pathways, I find Basecamp is not the most intuitive. I know they're making improvements to it, but I think this will help serve as a helpful reminder for everybody. So I'm just going to navigate pathways a little bit, and I'm just going to move this out of the way. So from logging in to, let me see if I'm logged in. There we go. So once you're logged into your Toastmasters International account, you're going to go to Basecamp. Basecamp is where all of the progress is and where you actually complete all the tasks and activities involved with pathways as well. So you're going to choose your club, and it may open into a different tab or a pop-up. That's okay. Just give it a second to load here. So from here, there's different ways to access it. I could go paths and learning, or I can go paths and learning here. It's going to bring me to the transcript, if you will. So this is where you can see the paths that I have going on. So I actually have 3 paths on the go. Leadership development was the first one that I registered for. It was the one that the assessment in pathways recommended to me, so I started there. I've since started motivational strategies and visionary communication. So I've got a few things on the go. I'll just open one up. When you are coming in for the first time, you're not going to see probably everything you see on mine, but you will see your path and open curriculum. And then from there, it's going to give you a breakdown of your progress and where you need to start. So you can see for my path of leadership development, I've completed level 1, 2, 3, and 4. I only have level 5 to complete. And if I click on each level, it's going to show me the check mark, which means that that project is completed, and the overall progress in this circle here. So I can flip between any level and see. I already know these ones are done, but I can go for level 5, for example, and see I haven't quite gotten everything done in there. So I have some work to do. But for what it will look like if you haven't started anything, first you'll need to activate the project and then launch it. So activate, then launch. Now that you know that, you'll know how to do that every time. So we figure out what project you want to do, you activate it. Launch it is going to take you, I'm not going to click on it right now because it'll begin that, I guess I could begin that process for me right now. Maybe I'll go back to the icebreaker and just show you, since a few will be taking that on. So I'm going to launch the icebreaker. And it's going to take its sweet time, but we will get it up there. So it's going to open up a window where you can start the curriculum. So at the beginning of every project, there's a self-evaluation where you're evaluating your skills before you start the project. It's a little multiple choice question on a numbered scale. And then it's going to take you into the module. So it could have a little video clip or text where you're learning some content related to that particular project. So my icebreaker is complete, so I'm not going to be able to show you anything here. I guess I could flip back. This is after it's been finished. So once you go through the module, watch the videos, absorb the content, then it's going to give you a checklist with what you need to do to complete the project and an evaluation form. So you don't need to send your evaluation form to your evaluator. One really helpful tip is that in Free Toast Host, where we manage our agendas, if you can populate your project right in that agenda, and then the evaluation form will self-populate so that your evaluator knows exactly the tool that they need to evaluate you on. And then you're going to come, once you've delivered your speech, you're going to come back into Pathways and you're going to fill out this after skills questionnaire where you complete the project. So you have to come back in and actually go through the motions to complete it. And your mentor can help guide you through this process the first time. But I just wanted to give a quick overview of what that looks like and what components will be there. So to summarize that, you log in, you go to Basecamp, you see where you're at, what project you're missing, launch, activate it, get it started, go through everything, schedule yourself for your speech, because usually with every project, it either involves a speech or you're reflecting on something for the club, and we have that conversation. I have some speaking spots available. I'll share more about those at the end. Hopefully we'll fill those. And then you come back in with your feedback, you self-evaluate, you have your evaluator that's evaluated you during the club meeting, and then complete the project in Pathways and then carry on. So that's a little overview of how to get going on your next project in Pathways. Did everybody find that helpful? Yes? Okay, good. Awesome. So I'm going to put something in the chat for you as well. I found this link through another club's website, and it's the core competencies, breaking it down by project, but like compatible for your phone, like for the mobile version. So if you wanted to pull that up or copy that over, it's user-friendly for accessing on your mobile device. And now I want to just talk about what opportunities there are. So we know what Pathways is. We've seen some potential with the skills and projects and how it can be transferable to other things in our life. Can you see how some of these projects might be able to help advance your professional career potentially, or some relationships with people on a personal basis? So the next question is, what's next, right? What's next is your next project. So I'm going to put a call to action out to everybody. If by next week, we can all commit to logging into Pathways and activating that next project, or looking ahead to what that could be, and we can all check in with each other by next week, that everyone's at least logged in. Log in and see what's next for you. Because then the next step after that is signing up for a speaking spot. If I've inspired you and you're excited, I do have 2 speaking spots. One of them is next week on September 5th, and the next open speaking spot after that is October 3rd. So feel free to type a message in the chat if you want to grab that speaking spot. And if not, we'll be having conversations to get you on there anyways, in the weeks to come. And just know that you're not alone, right? So don't be afraid to reach out to your mentor for guidance on your next step. I'm also introducing another layer of accountability to help us all make progress in pathways. So starting October 3rd, we will have a little bit of time in the agenda to check in with we need to do, what we need to focus on for our next step in pathways. Just during the club meeting, so that we're not having to create extra time, but that there's a little layer of accountability that we're all taking that next step. So I hope you guys are open to that. And thank you so much for your time and attention today. And I look forward to making progress with you in pathways.
Great job. Thank you so much, Steph, for that awesome speech on pathways.